And you can notice we have people here in the villages. You don't see a lot of activity going on in terms of preparing for a tropical storm or a hurricane. This is the day before. This is Wednesday. Good morning, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and liking my videos. Today's video is recorded on Wednesday, the Wednesday before Tropical Storm Helene will affect the villages. Helene is supposed to affect the villages starting tonight, Wednesday evening, with winds. And I thought I'd make this video based on a subscriber request. The subscriber asked me, what do I do to prepare for a hurricane here in the villages? Right now you can see the weather is beautiful, it's calm, it's gorgeous out, it's warm, it's sunny. It is Wednesday morning around 8 a.m. And by tonight, we're supposed to start feeling the winds. The winds are supposed to impact the villages. They say around 50 to 60 mile an hour winds we should start receiving either later tonight or tomorrow. Tropical Storm Helene will turn into a hurricane. And it's due to make landfall Thursday evening in the Big Bend area of Florida, which is near Tallahassee, Florida. So this video is going to show you what I do to prepare and what other villagers do to prepare for a hurricane. Stay tuned, friends. Welcome, friends. One of the first things I do is make sure that any outside lawn furniture, barbecue grills, make sure they are put inside. And I usually try to find space inside the lanai or in the garage. And I usually will put these items here out in the lanai, in the screened-in lanai, which is right there. And I will secure them down. I'll tie them down with a rope. That's one of the first things I do, is make sure that everything outside that could blow away in the wind is put in the garage or in the lanai and is secure. Some people have potted plants outside, and it's important to have lawn decorations and potted plants secure. These items will most likely need to be moved indoors because we are expected to have 55 plus mile an hour winds here in the villages starting Wednesday evening. Welcome, friends. The other thing I did, and I did this 2 years ago when I relocated from Wisconsin to Florida, is I bought a couple of cases of drinking water and I store them in my garage. In the event of a hurricane or a lost power outage or lost services in terms of water services, you can see I still have the 2 cases of water here. I never had to use them because the hurricanes we received in the last 2 years were not so severe, and I did not need to drink the water in case of an emergency. So that's the other thing I would recommend everybody do, is make sure you have some drinking water around, a few days supply of drinking water, just in case that rare hurricane affects the villages. The Villages is very hurricane safe. It's in the central part of Florida. And by the time the hurricanes make it over to the Villages, the wind severity is diminished. Hello again, friends. One of the things I do when tropical storms and hurricanes are forecasted to affect the Villages is I like to make sure that my cars and automobiles have adequate gas in the gas tank. If it's below a half a tank of gas, I will run over to the gas station and put gas in. And if it's more than a half a tank, I probably won't do anything. Like I said, friends, I've been through 4 or 5 hurricanes in the 2 years I've been in the Villages, and none of them have been that severe. And I do recall back in 2017, they did have a really bad hurricane here in the Villages. And I think they did lose power for a day or two in some areas of the Villages. But I think it's a good idea to make sure that you do have adequate gas in your vehicle in the event you need to evacuate for some reason. Hello again, friends. Another thing that villagers commonly do to prepare for a hurricane is to make sure that they have a flashlight in the house, just in case the power does go out, which is very rare that the power goes out here in the Villages. I did a video about that, I think a week or two ago. It's very uncommon. And you can notice we have people here in the Villages. You don't see a lot of activity going on in terms of preparing for a tropical storm or a hurricane. This is the day before. This is Wednesday. And we are supposed to be affected by the tropical storm tonight and tomorrow, and you don't see a lot of activity. What you don't see are people boarding up their windows on their homes. In fact, I don't recall seeing any homes that have hurricane shutters on their windows. And just as a side note, when you look at these garage doors on these homes, at least on my home, the garage door on my home is hurricane proof. It's really, really heavy. In fact, a couple of months ago, my garage door opener did not work. So I had to disengage the garage door opener. And I tried lifting the garage door manually by my hand. And it was almost impossible to lift that garage door. It was so heavy. And I have a 1.5 car garage. It was not even a 2-car garage door. So when I called the service to come over and fix the garage door opener, so when the service provider came over and fixed the garage door opener, I asked him, why is my garage door so heavy? And he indicated to me that it's a hurricane-proof garage door. They're built extra durable and extra heavy. You can see the beautiful weather before the storm comes today, friends. That direction is facing southwest, and that is the direction that tropical storm Helene is supposed to affect us. It's going to come from the southwest, and it's going to pass to the northeast. So you can see that there isn't a lot what these residents are doing to prepare for the storm. You most likely will see these people go to the grocery store later on and make sure they have adequate groceries and food supply. You'll probably see the gas stations full of cars trying to put gas in their cars. That usually seems to be some issues. And I think after some of the hurricanes in the past, I think some of the gas stations had no gas. And within a day or two, they had gas. That's another reason that you want to make sure you have adequate gas in your car, because the gas stations might run out of gas for a day or two. So you will probably see the grocery stores full of people today. You'll see the gas stations full of people today. And if you do run out of power during a tropical storm or hurricane, you want to make sure you have flashlights in your house. If you have a natural gas stove, usually the natural gas will not be shut off during a hurricane. You might want to keep matches in your home to light your natural gas stove if the power goes out. That might be a good idea. But generally speaking, you don't see a lot of worried people here in the villages, worried about a tropical storm or a hurricane. They're pretty much going along life, business as usual. I'll leave you with one last video of the sun. Here in the Villages, Florida, it is Wednesday, about 8 o'clock in the morning. Tropical Storm Helene is about to affect us. You can see how it is. It's beautiful right now. It's sunny. It's blue skies. That is facing west. That is the direction that Tropical Storm Helene will be coming from. As you can see, the Villages is very good at stormwater management. You don't have a lot of these residents that are too worried about being flooded or having the power out. I would think that the number one risk here in the Villages would not be flooding, because their stormwater management system is second to none here. So I am not worried about flooding at all. The only thing that could happen is maybe a loss of power for some odd reason. Power might go out. But I've been through 4 or 5 of these hurricanes in the last 2 years. I have not experienced a power outage due to a hurricane or tropical storm yet. And I don't expect it with this one either, friends. So there is your last panoramic view. It's probably the last time we're going to see sun. Probably until the weekend. I heard we're supposed to get rain starting tonight, all the way through tomorrow. 50+ mile-an-hour winds. And as I mentioned on my video yesterday, friends, the Villages already has started preparation for the tropical storm. And they closed golf courses yesterday. And the reason they closed them is so they can drain the retention pond water levels. They are starting to spray water on the golf courses to drain those retention ponds. And that's why it's very unlikely that any of these homes will ever be flooded due to a hurricane or a tropical storm. Thanks for liking my videos, friends. Thanks for subscribing. I hope this content bodes you well. Take care, stay safe. I will be doing some videos during the tropical storm Helene or Hurricane Helene. Talk to you later.